Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Let's go into the Chan Dharma talk, Chan Chi Dharma talk. Do we do the audio, or I still need to deliver?
The audio starts on 287.
287? Oh, okay. Let's continue then. Okay, the last one I remember is the Dharma is level and equal, no highs and lows. Okay, it refers to, I don't know, I remember what I told you, but it refers to the fact that the Buddha Dharma, every single Dharma that is spoken to you is equally important. Why is it important? Because it's there's no high and low. They're equally at the same level as far as the Buddha is concerned. Because what suits your condition is true, what suits your condition is good. Okay, I think we were talking about this already as well. Because basically the Dharma is spoken for you. Okay, so Buddhas, when they speak Dharma, is for the sake of crossing over his disciples. Same thing with Master YongHua, when he spoke Dharma, is to really address the needs of his disciples first, and then whoever is there. Okay, so what he means by 推你的记, meaning is appropriate for your potential. It's not conditions. G here refers to your potential, meaning the Dharma master, the teacher, looks your potential and he says, this is where you are right now. We're not talking about where you're going to be in the future, but where you are right now, and therefore I'm going to speak the Dharma as appropriate to you. For example, very much like when you go to school, you don't speak in elementary school, you don't talk about algebra and geometry. It's just too much for them. Okay, so that's what he's referring to. The Dharma is level and equal. Because you could say that the Dharma you spoke to today is for children, is so childish. I need something better. Actually, it's true. It's true, but also it's not true, because you're not the target audience for the Dharma. All right? And so that's why the Dharma is always spoken to try to match your potential, meaning how much you can grasp and how much you can use. Pay attention, because when the Dharma is spoken, it's for you, and therefore a lot of people, I notice a lot of people, especially for different age groups, different cultures, they interpret it according to their cultures, according to their personal preferences, and what they don't realize is that it happens too often. The last 20 years for me personally as well, is that you pick and choose. Not only do you pick and choose what you want to hear, but also you also omit things. For example, Master YongHua teaches us about the 6 principles, teaches his disciples about the 6 principles. Okay? My generation, my 6 principles. I taught you about 7 principles. Okay? There's a difference here, because I want you to go a lot higher than that. And when he taught about the 6 principles, principle number 6 was to not lie. Okay? And my generation, we lie through our teeth. My peers lie through their teeth. And so the instructions are something that we repeat every day, morning ceremony, evening ceremony. It's meant for you to reflect upon that. How true am I to the teachings of my teachers? And if you distort it a little bit, then you basically are reducing the effectiveness of the Dharma. Okay? It's not that your teacher doesn't care. He cares. He gives you. He teaches you what he's supposed to teach. What's best suited for your potential, for your personal needs. But it's you who choose to massage it. And for example, going back to the number 6 where don't lie, and because that's very critical to our foundation, my generation's foundation, okay, that we cannot lie, we should not lie. And after my master is gone, we found that it's okay to distort a little bit for the sake of appearances, for the sake of expedience, to keep you around, okay? And so the Dharma, when my master was alive, is different from the Dharma that existed after he died. And therefore, it causes problems. Okay, how could it happen? It happened because when he was alive, they were doing it already. We are doing it already. It's just that it became more obvious with how my teacher, the conditions reveal themselves, reveal the true nature of the adherence to the instructions. It doesn't matter. What I give you an example is to remind you that when we give you instructions, it's for your specific needs, and it's you who choose to alter it. You choose to massage it a little bit so that you're not getting the full effects of the instructions. Going back again to the concept of not lying, okay? When you cultivate, I don't care what you do outside. You lie, you cheat, you whatever, that's what you do in society as expected, okay? However, when you come to the temple, absolutely do not lie. When you cross your legs, don't lie. When you recite, don't lie. No excuses. Is it clear? I spell it out for you because in my generation it was not spelled out for us. We find it difficult. I'm a salesman. I'm a manager. When I'm at work, I have to lie to my subordinates as a manager. Okay? I'm a salesman. I have to lie to the customers. They expect to be lied to. Well, when you're at the temple, you're cultivating and trying to open your wisdom. You don't want to lie. You don't want to go against those instructions. Any questions about that? Yes, one.
Master, is summarizing or omitting details to kind of make things brief when explaining things, can that be considered lying?
Lying here refers to the fact that there's a lying intention. You're trying to cover up. You're trying to mislead. There's an intention to mislead. It's intention to cover up. Yes, 4.
마스터, 지금 거짓말하는 거에 대한 부분이 아니라 인스트럭션에 대한 질문인데 잠시 후에 할까 지금 해도 될까요?
And about instruction, not what you're talking about now, about the lying. Should I wait a little bit, or should I just ask now?
Yeah, you can ask now.
그 마스터 그 최근에 마스터께서 주신 그 인스트럭션에 참고해 주셨으면 하는 부분이 있는데요. 네. 괜찮아요, 세라님? 네. 그러니까 마스터께서 최근에 제 인스트럭션에 대해서 참고해 주셨으면 하는 부분이 저는 이미 1년 반 정도 서주 스님의 먼데이 바윙 세션을 참석하고 있어요. 일주일에 한 번씩 있는. 그 점을 참고하셔도 인스트럭션이 동일한지가 질문입니다.
Master, recently you gave me personal instructions. I'd like to remind something to you, so that way I need to confirm about your instructions. It's been a year and a half. Every Monday, I'm attending bowing session with Saju Sunim. That happens once a week. Do I still follow the private instruction that you give it to me? Thank you.
I hope so. Next. Okay. So furthermore, he says, stop me when I get there, okay? I don't remember all these numbers. So he says, ginseng is the most precious among medicinal herbs. But you eat it a lot, like staple food, bread and cheese and butter and rice. Then it's not good for your body. Your nose will bleed. And not only the excess will bring no real benefit to you, but actually creates harm. So, on the other hand, arsenic, which is the poison, you take a little bit will not kill you, but actually can help dealing with some can be a curing agent. Okay, and so similarly, the Buddha Dharma is like that as well. So the Buddha Dharma, in Master YongHua says, is prescribed based on the symptoms. The teachings are actually given to target the specific types of people, very much like prescribing medicine to the illness. It is very, very true. This is why it is very important for you teachers to be willing to talk to people and take questions and address the questions. That's your job. This is a standard for a Dharma master because it forces you to prepare for it, okay? And it forces you to raise the standards of performance. You have to be useful. You have to be helpful to the students, to the Buddhist disciples, or to the Dharma listener, so that they can see how the Buddha Dharma can really act like a medicine for them. Okay? And so, don't be afraid. You have to learn. If you start with being fearful of not knowing, okay? And because you don't know, because none of us does. We are not prepared for our jobs. When you were hired in a company, you certainly don't know what you're getting into. All of us. Yeah? And so during your training phase, that's when you learn and you find out and you grow with the jobs. Whereas it is similarly, if you're a monk or nun or you're a Dharma speaker and you realize that you cannot answer a lot of questions, Buddha Dharma is so vast and your teacher's wisdom is so much, there's no way you can compare yourself against, no way I can compare myself against my master's wisdom. No way. He knows so much, okay, that I, instead of trying to pretend I know as much I can do as well, I'm just like you. I'm going to pick up his teachings here and try to learn together with you. So I'm cheating, yes, so that I don't have to pretend I know what I'm talking about. But there's a very subtle thing. If you as a teacher know full well you're not able to answer all questions, and all you do is avoid it, avoid taking questions, you never learn. You never, if it's just like you at work and you only volunteer for a project that you are able to do, and the project you're not able to do, you pass it on to others. You never learn. You never grow professionally. Okay? And what does it have to do with being true? You're faking it. You're faking to be a Dharma master. Who knows? Isn't that? It's very subtle. The point I bring it up is because it's about you. When we teach you, with the instruction is, be true, do not lie. What does it mean? It means you have to ask yourself, when I do this, does it go against instructions that were given to me? That's your problem. My perspective, I give it to you. It's you who choose to twist it and modify it for your own needs. So your modifications will bring you to places that are not meant to be. So it's your problem. You cannot blame me for not giving you instructions. Just like I cannot blame my teacher for giving me the instruction of not lying, and I keep on lying and pretending and scamming people. Now I get what I deserve. It's about us. It's about each and every one of us. When I learned the Buddha Dharma from my Chinese teacher, I was never given the opportunity to ask questions. Especially to my Chinese teacher. He died too soon. He died before I was able to form questions. Because of that, there's a lot of unclear areas of the Dharma, and that's why I'm clarifying it for you. If I had a chance back then, I would have asked. I said, "Hey, I lie at my job. That's the nature of my job. I have to lie. Because if you tell me not to lie, I can't function like that. Buddhism is not for me." That's why I'm helping you. I'm helping clarify for you. Lie all the heck you want. Lie as much as you need to. At work. At home. I don't care. But when you come to the temple, all I ask you is, don't lie. So that you can restore your balance. Okay? The Dharma spoken is like prescribing medicine to you. So instead of taking 10 pills you only take 8 pills and you expect the same results. Okay? So whatever the illness, give the appropriate medicine to take. Buddha Dharma is just this way. So that's what it is. The Buddha Dharma is like prescribing medicine to you. The Buddha Dharma is to help you overcome the sicknesses in your head, which causes sicknesses in your body. Okay? Don't think that you will get away with it with all these negative thoughts, unclean thoughts. It will. It's being reflected in the state of your body already. You just haven't detected it yet, that's all. Trust me. Furthermore, Master Srinivas said, there is no great vehicle, no small vehicle. You like the small vehicle, they say the small vehicle is true. Like the great vehicle, say great vehicle is very good. So this is in the context of this young Sri Lankan guy, novice guy who came and asked to learn the Buddha Dharma, learn the Mahayana from the temple. And Master Srinivas, this is part of his the story here. So Master Srinivas says, I told that kid, that man there, that the Buddhist lecture hall of our association is neither a great or small vehicle, but a whole, complete substance, not just one alone. What he's referring to, and only he talks like this. He's not attached to great or small vehicle. Okay? He says, what I teach here, what I teach you is Mahayana, all of it. Okay? All of Buddhism, leaving nothing out. And the complete substance of Buddhism. How many teachers can do this, can say this? Some say I'm a Chan master, some say I'm a Pure Land master, but they would not ever dare say, I give you the whole teaching, everything. Okay? What I teach you is a little bit of everything, all of it. Okay? And not only the thing you can see there is the whole thing, okay, you can see the whole thing. What you cannot see is the complete substance of Mahayana. For him to say this in the same sentence, okay, I've never heard anyone say it. Not in Korea, not in Vietnam, not in Japan, not anywhere, not in the US. Not my generation. I give you the whole thing, the complete substance. Many monks and nuns will not bring this up, substance. The concept of substance here is totally Mahayana. If you understand Mahayana, then it's about the substance. What is your substance? Are you true? Being true is part of your substance. You can't disguise it. Your samadhi level is part of your substance. All right? Just pay attention. If you want to compare teachers, you listen to them talk. Okay, and you see that I've noticed that he's the only one I can think of when we talk about the entire substance, okay? The whole thing, complete substance. And he uses the word very often, especially when he mentions the Avatamsaka Sutra. Okay? The prior patriarch will not wade into this area, okay? Because his wisdom is very limited. His wisdom is not the whole wisdom, okay? And therefore, you don't have the real wisdom here. You will not bring up substance. Wei Mao.
Thank you, Master. Can we maybe say that also Master YongHua said this because he was giving the Sarin teaching?
It's not southern, it's not northern, it's also southern, and it's also northern. All of it.
No, the Sarin teaching, Master. Because I think
It's
Mahayana is
also
more...
sudden, it's also gradual, it's everything. This is where I know that he understands certain teaching, but the students could not. That's why he did not touch certain teaching. Remember? Just a while ago he says, I give it to you I prescribe the medicine based on your illness. Okay? If I give you certain teaching, it will kill you. We are the complete substance, 全体. You see? Therefore, I neither oppose a small vehicle nor exalt the great vehicle. Okay, it's expedient. He says, I'm bringing Mahayana from China to the US is to differentiate himself from the teaching that was existent in the United States then and still now, which is basically Hinayana. You go to school, universities, 90% of them, from this teaching staff, Hinayana. If they really understand Mahayana, they would be meditating already. Well, there's one exception, okay? There's always exceptions. One exception I found out. This guy, this professor is something else. And so the Buddha Dharma that Master YongHua brought is a complete substance. Okay, he has nothing against small vehicle. He has nothing against Tibetan. He has nothing, anything. Okay, this Mahayana, for your reference, includes everything: Japanese, Vietnamese, Tibetan, Korean, everything. He didn't say, notice, he didn't say Chinese Mahayana. I'm the one who says Chinese Mahayana. He's the one, he always said, I'm great vehicle. I said, no, you Chinese vehicle. According to my standards, you're just Chinese. It's for your reference. You go over there, it's Chinese. Here, it's American. Let's make it clear. Yes, ma'am. Are you American or Chinese?
Half-time Republican, Master. Is the samadhi part of the substance, or it decide the whole substance?
What?
The samadhi.
Samadhi?
Yeah. Is it just part of the substance?
Yes, it's a manifestation of your substance, the level of your substance.
But it's not
That's
all.
why it cannot be faked. That's where you see, this is where I feel that the Korean Buddhism is better than most Asian Buddhism for that reason, because they pay attention to samadhi. The disciples, the Buddhist disciples.
But I want to clarify that is the samadhi is the only thing that decide the whole substance, or there are other aspects too?
Of course, there's a lot of things, but samadhi is one key criteria that help you identify the level of the substance that's manifest in you. Everyone has a substance. It's not that he's not saying that you don't have substance. He's not saying the small vehicle does not have substance. It has substance. This one manifestation of the substance is different from manifestation of substance of the big vehicle. At your level, you have substance. Your manifestation of your substance is different from manifestation. Her manifestation of substance is different from your manifestation of your substance. Don't worry, it's not something you're supposed to understand. Okay? It's a concept I'm teaching you so that one day, okay, when it's time for you, when it's appropriate, you see, this person has a substance of a pig. This person has a substance of a loser, manifestation of a loser. Okay? It's a concept. Don't worry, don't try to understand. But there's this concept of substance that only in Mahayana we're very keen about looking at this. That's why I told you, I look at people first. I try to tell you that, samadhi is only one aspect of it. You're a loser. You think you're special? Well, I think, no, you're not. Okay? Be careful. Just a friendly warning. If you think you're special, I'm not looking at anyone. Okay? Don't get me wrong. If you think you're special, you're limited. You're limiting yourself. But you can't help it. Some of you think you're Republican. Some of you think if you think you're the Democrat, you're limiting yourself. I'm both Democrat and Republican. I'm American, I'm also Chinese. Yes, 4.
그럼 마스터 이체라는 substance라는 개념 그냥 just 컨셉이라고 하셨는데 그러면 이거는 어떤 근기, 그 사람에 대한 기본기 그렇게 이해하면 될까요? 네, 좀 더 있어요. 네.
Master, you just said substance is just a concept. So should I understand it as it's some kind of fundamental root? She has more to say.
It's okay. Don't go there. Let's not discuss it. It's okay. It's okay. Just hear it. Okay? Just listen to it. Okay? Yeah. It defies labels. There's no labels. I will remind you. I will beat you in your head to remind you that you have to shed this label. Goodbye. You like Hinayana, and I will speak to you about Hinayana. Like Mahayana, I will speak to you about Mahayana. You see? Yeah? The substance includes everything. Mahayana, Hinayana, it's you who label yourself as, I'm Korean first, I'm MAGA first, I'm Democrat first. If you that way, we speak to you that way. There's no hang up here. You loser, I speak to you like a loser. Or I don't speak to you at all. You like vehicles, I talk about vehicles. You like non-vehicles, I talk about non-vehicles. He's totally unattached. Okay? But from my perspective, okay, so the great minds, the great wisdom are the same. There's no difference. Okay? This the Da Xiu, or Chan Master, or Master YongHua, is of the same understanding. Okay? Da Xiu was a long time ago, and Master YongHua is more recent, but it's the same principle. It's the Mahayana that's being taught to us, that's timeless. It's true today, it's true tomorrow, it's true in the past. Okay, so let me clarify for you. There's no difference between what I'm teaching you versus what Master YongHua is trying to teach my generation. The words are different. The emphasis is slightly different. It's the same thing. We are no big, no small. Okay? No preference at all. But why do I call it American? And I label him as Chinese. It's because we're different in emphasis. Okay, it's a Mahayana. Mahayana is Mahayana. Buddhism is Buddhism. It's one thing. That's the same whether you're in the Pure Land or whether you're in the impure land. It's the exact same thing. But the emphasis is slightly different in each space, each places. For example, here in our impure land, we have different issues. We have to deal with a lot of afflictions. Okay? And that's great. If you want to cultivate, it's great when you have afflictions. Okay? And so the Buddha Dharma now has to be taught to you so that to help you deal with your afflictions. In the Pure Land, it's different. The amount of affliction you have is a lot less, and therefore the Dharma taught to you is different. The emphasis is different. Okay? And so why do I call it Chinese Mahayana versus our American Mahayana? Chinese Mahayana is because the foundation is Chinese or Indian, if you wish. The foundation, the Chinese foundation, the same as Indian foundation, the same as wherever it is. Okay? I don't call it Korean foundation. I don't call it Vietnam foundation. I don't call it Sri Lankan foundation. Okay? I call it Chinese because I found that the Chinese foundation is the best you can build that he brought to our country. And the fact is that because of that foundation, they went up pretty high. They were pretty high up there. It's no joking matter for you to be able to reach Master YongHua's levels, where his disciples used to be. It is earth-shattering. That's why That's why they all know that they're very special, they're unique. And that's why they can look down upon the Koreans. I used to see Korean Sunims coming to Master Shinho's temple. They all look down upon the Korean Sunims. So the Vietnamese coming, monks and nuns coming to Master Shinho's temples, they look down upon as well, because the samadhi is so much higher than any of them. Tibetan coming, Dalai Lama coming, his own disciple look at him and say, it's facts. It's not imagination. So the foundation they have is incredible. When he was alive. And that's invaluable. We need to recognize it. That foundation there, the fact is that he built the foundation. He gave them the foundation. Okay? They enabled them to reach that level of height. That's how you build things. You need to first build a foundation. Without a foundation, you cannot go high. That's how it is. You can argue all you want, but it's how high you can go that will dictate, will reflect the kind of foundation you have. You can argue all you want. You say, I'm Korean, I feel Korean is the best. You're right, Korean is the best for you. Be Korean. You feel Chinese is the best, be Chinese. But in America, okay, we look at results. We don't make excuses. Because you don't deliver, you get canned in America. Yeah? Anyone disagrees? That's a standard. So we cannot deny the fact that the foundation he gave them is incredible. That's why I label it Chinese. Because we should be grateful for where it came from. And the number two reason is that I told you repeatedly that there's a lot more from Chinese sources. Whatever is translated into English is only a subset of the Chinese foundation. That's why in China, Master Shenhua's time, his foundation is better than the one he brought here in the US. Why was it the case? It's because why? Why is it? Why didn't he bring his foundations? He left it in China. Yeah, too.
Didn't they have the language and thousands of years of it's been building up there?
Anyone else? Take a break. Anyone else? Yes, you too.
Oh, Master, this is a separate question. It's not on what you're talking about right now. Do you want to take it or finish what
why
you're
not?
discussing? Okay. This is from Just for Fun 704. Does substance refer to the true nature of a person? Thank you.
Don't worry about substance. I just want you to be aware of the concept of substance, okay? It's not something that can be explained. When I talk about substance, when he talks about substance here, I hear, I say, that's what he's talking about. But I can't explain it to you. It's just like let me give you an analogy that you may not like. It's like you speak algebra to me, I understand algebra, but I look at you, so I can't explain algebra to you. Okay? That's the way it is. So, he actually brought it. Yes, you too.
Thank you, Master. Samson Lau is answering your question. It was suited for the Chinese, but not for the Americans.
And Samson Lau, as the name implies, he's of a Chinese descent. Chinese people. Okay? Let me tell you, he brought it. It's just not translated into English. Because they couldn't understand it. He would not withhold it. It's the English translation that has holes. They don't quite get the Dharma he's teaching, the foundation he's giving us. They only can understand. This is the problem with translation. They can only translate what they can understand. Okay, yeah, and so that's why I drop hints to you. I said there's if you want to go higher, you have to go back to a Chinese source, his Chinese texts, and furthermore, you can go back to other Chinese texts because, like I told you over the weekend, there are Chinese masters who are higher level in Master Shenhua. That's why you want to go higher, better foundation than his, you're going to have to go to the Chinese texts. Not Korean, not English, it has to be Chinese. Okay? It's there. You just don't understand, that's all. Okay? So because of that, okay, this is because of that, I make it clear for you. It sounds like I'm discriminating and I'm being bitter and everything else. It's true. But eventually down the road, there's more and more of you will get up there, okay, and you understand each other, okay? Then you understand, you agree with me that what we have here is the foundation for American Mahayana. What they translate into English is for what I call Chinese only. Chinese Mahayana they brought here, that word they were able to understand, but not the level of our American Mahayana. That's why I use different words, okay? That's all. Chinese Mahayana here, American Mahayana here. But if you want to go much higher, okay, you have to go back to the Chinese texts. I name a few teachers already for you that are better in Master Shenhua. But you have to learn Chinese. That's the next step for you. Chinese Mahayana here, American Mahayana here. Next step, go back to the Chinese texts. That's how you can surpass American Mahayana. Does it help? I hope that you will surpass American Mahayana. Maybe the next level you could American Mahayana 2.0. I don't know. Okay, but so that it helps you make it clear for you. Okay, understand levels. Okay? Okay, guiding principles here, not way, no big, no small, no inter, outer, no discrimination, no American, no Hispanics, no deportation, no nothing, okay? Everyone, big family, okay? Take care of everyone, because the condition allows us to take care of everyone. Okay? In the end, this novice monk is very happy at that moment. He originally said he would come today, and indeed he came today. Yeah. Furthermore, we're still not there yet. It goes on and on. Furthermore, I told him, I said, this Hinayana, this Mahayana, do not talk about which one is true, which one is good. It's about discriminating. In Buddhism, there are two camps, Hinayana and Mahayana. The intellectuals, the professors at universities, 90% of them are Hinayana. The 10% is fake Mahayana. Okay, but at least they study Mahayana texts. And so he told this that's a young novice, this Hinayana novice. He says, don't talk about what's true, what is good. However, the small cannot encompass the large. Only a large can encompass the small. This is for him. Okay. For us, we don't discriminate. The small also encompass the large, and the large can encompass the small, but then vice versa, the small can encompass the large. However, for this, and I know he knows that as well, but for this kid here, this novice here, he says, for your reference. You see, that's why he says, you are Hinayana person. You see a difference between Hinayana and Mahayana. I confirm for you. Yes, what you learn is a subset of the large. Whereas, so the large here, so what you learn is not necessarily a waste of time at all. Okay? But you can go a lot further. This little child in the future who grow up once grown, he's an adult. So, Hinayana and Mahayana, small become big. Adults also have to go through this process from being a little child to being an adult. So he's referring to, okay, one step at a time. Even if you learn Mahayana, it doesn't look like it, but we also teach you Hinayana concepts. Before you can run, we all have to learn how to walk. First we crawl and then we walk. And that's how it is. Okay? And then we learn to ride a bike, and then a motorbike, and then James Bond flying rockets. Okay? Therefore, don't look for things to do just because there's nothing to do. He likes to say these things. It's derogative to me. He says, don't look for things you have to do. My people, they look for things to do because they don't have a whole lot to do. It's very true. After I spoke with this novice monk, perhaps the way he thinks might change a little. Okay? And so, sometimes we say things to you, and he's explaining it here. When you learn, when you go to school, whether it's any class you take, or whether you learn theology or Buddhism or whatever, okay, it's a process that will open your mind. That's the most important. Don't be so close-minded. If you're close-minded, that's when you're small. That's why I call Hinayana Mahayana. You learn Mahayana, but your mind is so small. I hope it doesn't happen to you. I don't want you to think that American Mahayana is better or is the best. It's better right now, but temporarily. Okay? But don't be stuck on that. Don't think that's the best. I only do American Mahayana. I only do Vietnam Buddhism. I only do Korean Buddhism. I only do Chinese Buddhism. Okay? Only losers think like that. I mean it. Is that it? Yes, ma'am. 7.
I just want to add that prior slide where don't look for things to do, just because there's nothing to do, or 不要没有事情尽找事情来做. It's actually an expression that in Chinese to say to people who are overly worried or overly thinking. Do unnecessary thinking. That's when those people who are think unnecessarily or do the extra thinking, that's when we would tell them 不要没事情找事情做. It's like an expression.
Thank you. Thank you for the input. I still would not go there. It doesn't help. To me, it doesn't help. It's fine to talk about it in general, but the guy came to see him. He came twice. He came back, according to Master YongHua. And for him to say, don't look for, for things to do because you have you have nothing to do, it doesn't help. This is my problem with this type of instructions. I would rather he says, can you cross your legs in full lotus? Okay, and then you understand the difference between Hinayana and Mahayana. You begin to. And then you become curious, and I'll teach you more on how to open your mind. Because my objective is to help you build your foundation. It's not to convert you. I can't care less what you do with it. But you can't go further unless you have the proper foundation. So talking about, keep on saying this expression, look for something to do when you have nothing to do. If I have nothing to do, give me something to do. That's my reply. Got that? Don't tell me I'm thinking too much. Fine, you're right. So I'm wrong. What do I do? No, this is below his standards. I love Master YongHua because his instructions are so good for my generation. It's most excellent. It's the first one, it's the only one I found. That was, the instructions are the best, numero uno. But I'm trying to tell you that there's certain things that could be better, okay? And this is one of them. If I criticize you, okay, then you're entitled to come back to me, so I'm wrong, so what do I do? That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that if you have nothing to do, okay, then the kid should have asked him, if you feel that I really should be doing something else then, okay? And this is why I'm dying to have a chance to ask him. back then. I wish I could ask him. So, you're right, Master, I think too much. So what do I do? This is what you all do to me. What do I do? That's the difference between American Mahayana and Chinese Mahayana, because your foundation is stronger than Chinese Mahayana. Your foundation in English is a lot stronger than this foundation. Okay? All right, are we in a new section? Okay, take it away.
佛法不是法，僧不是僧。
For himself. The Dharma is not the Dharma for itself. A Sangin is not a Sangin for themselves.
什么叫佛不是佛呢？这个佛成了佛之后，他呀和众生的思想是一样的。
What does it mean the Buddha is not a Buddha for himself? The Buddha, after becoming a Buddha, the way he thinks is the same as that of living beings.
不过，他的智慧和众生是不同的。
However, his wisdom and the wisdom of living beings are different.
虽然不同，那么本来是同的，因为一切众生都可以成佛。
Although different, originally they are the same, because all living beings can become Buddhas.
佛就没有一个思想说只有我成佛，你不可以成佛。
The Buddha does not have even a single thought of, only I become a Buddha, you cannot become a Buddha.
所以这一切众生皆堪作佛，这叫佛不自佛，不是单单说我就是佛，你不能成佛。
Therefore, it is said that all living beings are capable of becoming Buddhas. This is called the Buddha is not a Buddha for himself. It is not merely saying that only I am a Buddha and you cannot become a Buddha.
法不自法，这个法是众生法、心法、佛法是一个。
The Dharma is not the Dharma for itself. This Dharma is the Dharmas of living beings, the Dharmas of the mind, and the Buddha Dharma. They are all one.
佛法也就是世间法，世间法也就是佛法。
The Buddha Dharma is just worldly dharmas, and worldly dharmas is just the Buddha Dharma.
众生法也就是佛法，佛法也就是心法。
The dharmas of living beings are just the Buddha Dharma, And the Buddha Dharma is also just the dharmas of the mind.
所以呀，法也不自己说是我，只可以我成法，你不可以成法，法不自法。
Therefore, the Dharma also does not itself say, only I can become the Dharma. You cannot become the Dharma. The Dharma is not the Dharma for itself.
生不自生，这僧人呢，十方贤圣。
A Sangin is not a Sangin for themselves. A Sangha refers to worthy and sagely beings in the 10 directions.
观世音、大势至、文殊、普贤、弥勒，这都是僧，但是他也没有一个思想说只可以我做僧，你不可以。
Guanxi great strength, Manjushri, universal worthy, Maitreya, they are all Sangins. However, they don't have a single thought that says, only I can be a Sangha.
做僧，人人都可以做僧，人人都可以出家做比丘。
You cannot be a Sangin. Everyone can be a Sangin. Everyone can leave the home life and become a bhikshu.
所以僧不自僧，不能说是只有我可以做僧，你不可以做僧。
Therefore, a Sangin is not a Sangin for themselves. It cannot be said that only I can be a Sangha and you cannot be a Sangha.
这个佛也是自佛，法也是自法，僧也是自僧，这又怎么讲呢？
This Buddha is also a Buddha for himself. The Dharma is also the Dharma for itself. A Sangin is also a Sangin for themselves. Then how do you explain this?
所以你方才讲，佛不自佛，法不自法，僧不自僧。
According to what you just said, a Buddha is not a Buddha for himself, the Dharma is not the Dharma for itself, a Sangin is not a Sangin for themselves.
现在又说佛也自佛，法也自法，僧也自僧。
Now it is also said, the Buddha is also a Buddha for himself, the Dharma is also the Dharma for itself, a Sangin is also a Sangin for themselves.
这个是就照每一个人自性来讲。
This is spoken from the perspective of each person's self-nature.
咱们一切众生自性里头，具足十方诸佛的功德。
Inside the self-nature of all of us living beings, it is replete with the merit and virtue of all Buddhas of the 10 directions.
咱们自性里边，具足十方诸佛的法宝。
Inside of our self-nature, it is replete with the Dharma treasures of all Buddhas of the 10 directions.
自性里边也具足十方诸大菩萨摩诃萨和贤圣僧那种功德。
Within the self-nature, it also fully contains the kind of merit and virtue of the sagely and worthy Sangin, such as that of the great bodhisattvas and mahasattvas of the 10 directions.
所以也可以说是佛自佛，法自法，僧自僧。
Therefore, it can also be said that the Buddha is a Buddha for himself, the Dharma is the Dharma for itself, a Sangin is a Sangin for themselves.
在六祖坛经上说。
Okay, that's enough. We don't have a lot of time today left. This is what the Chinese like to explain things their way. Okay, so you heard it. This is a standard Asian style of explaining that the Buddha is not the Buddha for himself, Dharma is not the Dharma for itself, Sangha is not Sangha for himself. Very important concept. And later he says, Buddha is for himself, Dharma for itself, Sangha for itself. That's Mahayana. It's just like when men talk to you, they say, I love you. Then eventually you hear, I don't love you. Do you like it? It's the truth. Same thing. No? That's why you're still single.
I never said I love you.
Very proud. Okay, yeah. So you heard here the standard explanation of the Dharma here. Okay, and this is again, it's fun to listen to it and how the Chinese explain things. Okay, but it's not about understanding. It's not a big deal. I think he's trying too hard to make you understand. Like later he talked about self-nature. I said, huh? What's self-nature? What are you talking about? You know, I have problems with this because when I read it by myself, I said, my God, what's this self-nature? And so a lot of black holes for me when I listen to his Dharma. You know, like I say, this doesn't make sense. It's just how we explain it in plain English. But it seems that to the Chinese, it's perfectly sensible to talk like this. And hopefully we have a Chinese person here who would remind us what it really means. Yeah? Okay. So it says, concept is Buddha is not for himself, Dharma is for itself, Sangha is not for himself. All right? What does it mean? He tries to explain it. He says, Buddha is not Buddha himself, meaning Buddha, after becoming Buddha, he thinks it's the same as of living beings. True, but it doesn't help. It opens so many cans of worms. First of all, after becoming a Buddha, okay? I don't know what it means to be after becoming the Buddha. And next thing saying he thinks the same as all living beings. I don't really know what he's talking about. Okay? But this is a great sage. So therefore, I strongly urge you just to listen. Don't try to understand. That's the most important thing I want you to get out of this. It's very Chinese, it's very much YongHua style, okay? And it's perfectly okay just to listen. Okay? Just like when you hear people tell you that, men tell you that I love you, don't take it literally. That's all. Does it help? Okay? Most of the time they don't mean it. So when you hear it, you say, that remains to be proven, man. Okay, so what he's talking about, okay, it's a lot of holes here. However, so he says, he's separating your thoughts. This is very important here. It's not untrue, but what he chooses, the way he chooses to explain it is that he has the same thoughts as living beings. However, I mean, he thinks the same way as you. Okay, so he knows what you're thinking. Okay, however, what's different about him and you is that he has wisdom and you don't. Okay, meaning that when you think, this is the implication, I explain it for you, it's true. If you think, you are in a state of confusion. Buddhas don't think. They also have a state where they don't think at all. That's why they have wisdom. I wish someone asked him, what do you mean by that? But this is exactly what he means. Let me repeat for you. If you need to think, okay, to explain, then you are in a state of confusion, meaning your understanding, your vision is very limited. When you don't think like normal people, when you stop thinking, that's when you have you enter a state of wisdom. Not just Buddhas, it's you. That's what he's talking about. Does it help? It's not a waste of time. First reaction, because I heard this before, I read it before, and I said, yeah, I don't understand what he's talking about. Okay? Well, okay. Again, lots of things in life we don't understand. Okay? Yeah. It's okay to believe it, that he loves you. It's safe to believe. Okay? And you say, remains to be proven. Okay? All right? No. Okay. So in Buddhism, I want you to understand this concept that he's talking about, but I wish he would emphasize it more. Is that actually what I just told you? There's a difference between thinking and wisdom, because wisdom is based on not thinking, not using your thinking mind. That's when your wisdom kicks in. That's very important. That's the difference between Buddhas. He understands our thoughts. He gets to understand our thinking because he doesn't think like us. Is that clear? So when he's in a state of wisdom, when he doesn't think, that's when he can understand our thinking. That's why he says what he says. He thinks like living beings. It's kind of not true because he doesn't think like living beings. But he can understand the thoughts of living beings by not thinking. So you see, there's inaccuracies here. Okay? This his way of explaining is okay, but I want you to make it clear for you. The reason you learn to meditate is because you're learning to eventually stop your thinking so that you open your own wisdom. Just the same, okay? Going back to the example of love, okay? When you hear someone telling you, I love you, don't think about it. Then you know how true it is. Yes, sir. Two.
Master, there's some cases where I had states that at the time felt like I would have certain insight that was very clear and without thinking. But then, like say, looking back later, I feel like, oh, that was actually a very diluted state where it was more like the demons coming in and making me convinced of this thing being true or having this insight. And it presents itself as there not being any thinking. It's like just very forcefully clear and true in that experience. So how would you differentiate between something like that happening to you versus genuine insight?
You can't, because you only believe in yourself, like the rest of them. So it's not possible for you to tell the difference. Next. Although different, originally they are the same because all living beings can become Buddhas. Also, this is a standard truth that we teach our people. Okay? You can all become Buddhas. And because unlike, and this is a side swipe at the Catholics and Christians, I hope none of you Catholic and Christians, okay? That it's not like, I added for you, it's not like the other guys who said that I'm God and you cannot become God. In Buddhism, you can become God, you become Buddha, you can become anything you want to be. Is that clear? Okay, so this concept is very important. And to me, there's no need for that. If the Catholics and Christians and the Mormons like to teach their followers that only can be God and you cannot be God, there's nothing wrong with that. To me, there's nothing wrong with it. If it helps them, be at peace, helps them become a better person, I absolutely applaud. Because we lie too. We're not above lying. You see my problem? For you, and I don't want you to imitate the Chinese, because especially Master Shenhua, don't talk like this. I don't like this, because it's not true. It doesn't help. Okay? Stop criticizing others. When I criticize others, because I'm trying to help them, wake up. But there's no need for you. The Catholics and Mormons are not asking us to teach them. They don't need to be reminded, that they're wrong, whatever, and this is incorrect and so forth. It's none of our business. Who are we to say, you come here, you're going to become Buddha, don't be like a Catholic, don't believe a Catholic. In essence, that's what he's saying. That, to me, I disagree. It's not helpful at all. I applaud if you're a Catholic, you believe you're God. Hey, Daniel, are you listening? WMT Daniel, if you really believe you're God, and you say, I want to be with my God, and God is almighty, all those things, and in order to be there, I need to be a good person, I applaud that. Don't ever become Buddhist. Okay? Don't listen to your girlfriend who's Buddhist. Okay? If she threatens you, that she will not marry you unless you become Buddhist, okay? Don't listen to her. Yes, Wei Mao.
Thank you, Master. I've been thinking about the instruction that there's no self and no other. And from your lecture right now, what I think I should be repeating to myself is, no thinking about self, no thinking about other. Is that correct?
No, I'm talking about very specific things here. You're reading too much into it. All right, so this is a side swipe. I don't like this. It's no class. Okay? I disagree. Leave them alone. Respect them. It worked for 1.3 billion people. We need to respect it. I have 4,000 subscribers. Who am I to tell the 1 billion people that I know what I'm talking about? Because 4,000 people only agreed with me. 1.3 billion people disagree with me, therefore they must be true. Let's face it. How dare you deny that they're not true? What kind of nonsense are you selling? Okay, I don't buy this. Okay, if you believe in whatever you believe and it works for you, as long as you become a better person, that's Buddhism for me. You ask me personally. You don't need to be, I don't worry about your labels. Yes, với mountain.
Thank you, Master. I feel like I might want to update you. As on the English channel alone, you currently have 5,437 subscribers.
Whoopee! I only have about 1,000 years left to catch up to 1 billion subscribers. It's okay, it's okay. Okay, so far so good. Thank you very much. Well, for the encouraging words. Last month it was 4,000. This month is 5,000. Wow, we're making progress. Therefore, it is said all living beings are capable of becoming Buddhas. This is called Buddha is not Buddha for himself. It's not merely saying that only I am a Buddha and you cannot become a Buddha. Again, don't ever use this logic, okay? I don't like it, okay? It's not healthy for us. It shows that we're bitter, we're envious, okay? It could be interpreted as we're envious that other people have 1 billion followers, I have 5,000 subscribers. And you go to TikTok, you get 10,000 overnight. Okay? So anyway, so how can we explain this? That Buddha is not a Buddha for himself. It's very simple. He's just creating a lot of work for himself. Okay? Buddha is not a Buddha of himself because of a very important reason. He doesn't plot for himself. That's the most important reason to me, that Buddhas never schemes or plans and plots for himself. Dean, are you listening? Thank you very much. I was afraid that she might say, I'm out of here. But actually she was listening. Praise the Lord. Yes, DTT. Yes. Oh, Abbott.
Câu Phật bất tự Phật, Pháp bất tự Pháp, Tăng bất tự Tăng. Theo con nghĩ cái đó là các Pháp tự nó là như vậy. Mình khởi tâm, mình đặt tên đó. Ông A, ông tu tới mức đó. Ông dứt được những cái suy nghĩ của ông. Rồi ông phát nguyện như ông A Di Đà. Phát nguyện như vậy thì ông thành A Di Đà. Ông kia phát nguyện như vậy thì thành ông Dược Sư. Các Pháp nó tự động, nó tiến như vậy tùy theo mình phát tâm mà mình làm. Nó tiến như vậy, nó không có cái ngã trong đó. Mình tự đặt tên, mình tôi là Phật, người kia là Phật, kia là Pháp, nọ là Tăng. Bằng chứng là khi Ngài Huệ Năng đi ra cái chùa Niết Bàn nữa mà ra mặt trốn, ra mặt không trốn nữa đó. Thì hai vị Tăng thấy lá phướng bay. Một vị nói là gió bay, một vị cãi nói là lá phướng là phướng bay. Ngài Huệ Năng mới nói gió không bay, phướng không bay mà cái tâm quý vị bay. Phật không tự nói là Phật, Pháp không nói là Pháp, Tăng không nói là Tăng. Nó là vậy. Mình đặt tên, mình suy nghĩ lên. Khi mà người ta nhập vào tuyệt đối không như Thầy nói, vị Phật là 24 là không. Không còn suy nghĩ nữa. Nhưng mà cái nguyện của ông làm như vậy, ông tu như vậy thì ông thành ông A Di Đà, ông kia ông thành Thích Ca, ông nọ thành Dược Sư. Các Pháp tự tiến như vậy thôi. Mình đặt tên, mình khởi suy nghĩ lên. Cho nên Hòa Thượng mới nói là Pháp, Phật không Phật, Pháp không Pháp, Tăng không Tăng. Nó là như vậy thôi. Xin hết.
Hello, Master. When the Buddha say that the Buddha is not the Buddha for himself, the Dharma is not the Dharma for himself, the Sangha is not the Sangha for himself, when I heard this, I know that I see that the Dharma is just itself, thus is, and we just give rise to a thought and then we name it that way. So this guy cultivate and then he thought of it as is, therefore he is so and so, just like the Buddha when he cultivate. Based on his vow, naturally he become Amitabha Buddha, and that person become medicine master Buddha. The Dharma evolve and just as is, and itself doesn't have a thought that I name this as a Dharma, this is particular Dharma. So for example, when Venerable Huineng go to Nirvana temple, there is two monks arguing with each other. One say that the wind caused it to fly. The other one say no, the flag fly itself. The Buddha doesn't say itself is the Buddha. The Dharma doesn't say that it is the Dharma. It is just as is, thus is. So just like Master say, when the person become a Buddha, that Buddha 24 hours is, the state is there, permanent. I don't think, it doesn't think that this person, it's just because he make a vow when during his cultivation, that person become Amitabha Buddha, this person become Shakyamuni Buddha, and the other person become Medicine Master Buddha. The Dharma evolved as is. That's how I thought Venerable Shenhua said that way.
Okay, very good. And thank you for your input. Can I make a suggestion, old man? What you're speaking is not incorrect, but it's still very abstract. And it makes it very difficult for Westerners or young people to understand. Try to listen to what I just said again. 10 more times. There's a reason behind it. There's a Dharma behind it that you're not getting. Okay? Yeah. What I just said is actually a lot more profound than what you just said. And yet, I use words that people can understand. Your words, the Dharma is just a Buddha, a Buddha is just Buddha, Dharma is just Dharma, that's the way it is, doesn't help people understand, even though it's correct. Okay? Again, I'm not saying you're incorrect, but your explanation is old school, where this is what the Dharma masters speak, and this is how they speak, and Master Hsiao has elaborated a little bit on that, but still, it's not going to help the Westerners, not going to help the young people nowadays, or people who have no background. Okay? What I just said covers all those bases. If you listen to it carefully, you see that it has the same meaning as what you just said. Okay, and on the other hand, it allows people who do not understand these concepts. This concept you're talking about, okay, is a lot more helpful. Your concept is based on the concept of thus. Okay. Dharma is thus, Buddha is thus, Sangha is thus. Okay, and that's what I try to help you understand. What you said is actually a little bit below the concept of Buddha is thus, Sangha is thus, Dharma is thus. Okay, but I don't use it because it doesn't help you. It doesn't help people at all. I want people to understand, especially ones who do not understand Buddhism at all. Okay, the one who are worried right now, looking at their, the phones and say, "Oh my God, I have this problem here," and now he's talking about things I don't understand at all. What the heck am I doing here? Okay, and so be careful. I'm teaching you about how this great sage, Master YongHua, explained things to his disciples. And I want you to compare how I explain to your generation. There's a difference here because for different purpose. Okay? Because I need to tailor my explanation for the Westerners. Not only beginner Westerners, but also very advanced Westerners, which are actually in a position where they need to be teaching. Okay? So I'm teaching you a new way of teaching Buddhism, which is a lot more profound than it sounds, without using the Buddhist jargon, thus, it's just, it is, and so forth. That doesn't help. All right? No. And so, let me explain to you. Again, Buddha is not a Buddha of himself because fundamentally, the difference between Buddhas and us is that Buddha does not scheme for himself, never thinks for himself. Whereas all we do is scheme for ourselves, think for ourselves. Only believe in ourselves. You may be saying, I believe you, Master, I believe Buddha, I believe the Bodhisattvas, but deep down you don't. Why not? It shows in your behavior. You fail the test time and time again that indicate that you really believe in yourself, that's all. Buddhas never, ever thinks for himself. Okay? And you see, that's how you explain it. You don't need to take side swipes at others. Whatever they teach is good for them, for their followers, because it worked for thousands of years already. Don't break it. There's no need to break it. I disagree with this approach. Okay? We're not respectful enough of their track record. That's why I call myself American. American, I don't talk, I deliver. You don't deliver, you get fired. Period. Time is up. Wayne Mountain, quick question.
Thank you, Master. With this last sentence, can we also say that the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, they manifest when there's a need for them to manifest? So they don't are by themselves, but just when we need them, they come, they appear?
There are a lot of times that we need and they don't come at all. How do you know? You're plotting again for yourself. Let's believe in it because when we need it, they'll come. Hell no. There's lots of time you need it and we don't come at all. They say, good luck, guys. Good luck to you. I mean you well. Okay, I hope you go to the house and learn something. And that's Buddha Dharma too. You think we're that stupid we have to help you all the time? Hell no. Buddha sometimes says, hey, you know what, guy? Today I'm on vacation. I'm not taking calls. You can text me all you want. I ain't responding. Thank you. Stop here tonight. Thank you, everyone.